Hi everybody, welcome to Round the Twist again. I guess we'll start off this week with what I finished, like usual, or what seems to be becoming the usual. I finished the Queen of Beads socks, or the second sock. Actually got that done Wednesday night, early Thursday morning after I last recorded. Yeah, I had a lot of time on my hands this week. Mainly because, like I said last week, my friend Sarah was in town for a job working for, I think it was for CMT, doing some casting for a show. And so she was crashing in this room, which meant, since she's on the opposite sleep schedule that I'm on, that every time she was sleeping, I couldn't get to the computer. So I did not spend a whole lot of time on the internet this week. It was a little strange, yeah. So I did a whole lot of knitting, watched a lot of good TV, made it, I think, into either season 4 or 5 of Corner Gas, and watched an entire season of Burn Notice, got Sarah hooked on Doctor Who, and we made it about halfway through. Well, both of us watched, I think, 3/4 of the first season. She watched a bunch of episodes during the day while I slept. We ended up making it partway into season 3. And yay, I've hooked her on another show. I got her started with Firefly too, and then she got me hooked on Burn Notice. So now I have to find the second season of that before the third season starts sometime later this winter. But yeah, she expressed an interest in the Queen of Beads socks. So I think I'm going to be obtaining some more of this colorway and making them into fingerless gloves for her. Because that's what she thought it would be really, really pretty as. So you'll be seeing some more of this color before Christmas. Put those out of the way. And then, yeah, what did I tell you last week with the Charlotte's Web Shawl? I had to go back and look because I said I'd be into the third color, and oh gee, I'm into the third color. I got my order established. Actually, Sarah helped. Once I wound everything, we kind of picked the order. I have Krabby McCrabby Pants was my first one. And then that bled into this bit here, which is Sugar Plums. And I'm working my way through Faulty Dyer right now. It started off really fast, but then, yeah, all of a sudden you get to row 122 and you have 247 stitches going across, and it's only going to get worse from here on out. I'm liking it, though. It's only an 8-row repeat, and half those rows are just purling back across, so it's not hard. It's not, I don't have to pay a whole lot of attention, so I actually knit most of this while I was watching the shows. All of the Doctor Who and the Burn Notice and everything. So yeah, that, at the rate I'm going, and I've got the coming weekend off, this will probably be done by next week. I won't promise that, but at the rate that I'm going, unless things slow up a whole lot, that's where that's going to be. We'll see. I think the next color I'm going to do is the Carbon Dating and then end it up with the Pepe Le Plume. So yeah, I'm at, let me see, pull my handy dandy spreadsheet. I'm at 247 stitches and I have to go to, 439. So a little less than 200 more stitches to add on, adding 400 or 4 stitches per row. Yeah, it's not pretty. I'm just not thinking about that. I'm just going to keep going and kind of doing an ooh, pretty colors thing. Okay. Christmas present knitting coming up. So if you're dad, go away. Mom, get dad off the computer. I started my dad's Christmas knitting. This is now my new work knitting since the Queen of Beads socks are done. That, and I don't have a really good light in my living room, or I have 2 lamps, but they're both kind of in front of where I sit, and the yarn I picked out, I got some Patton's Croy socks, the 4-ply in Gentry Gray. I got 4 balls of it. It was on clearance at Hobby Lobby for $2.99 a ball. So I decided then and there I was going to make dad socks, and I did. Well, sort of. I'm working my way on them. I started, I don't know, can you see the cable? It's really dark, so I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. I started the Earl Grey sock pattern that Stephanie Pearl McPhee wrote and put up on her blog. And if you hunt for it, just type in Earl Grey on Ravelry and it'll pop up the pattern. I'll have it in the show notes too. I'll actually do show notes this week. I didn't last week because I realized most of the stuff I mentioned was in the show notes from the week before. So yeah, I slacked a little bit. But yeah, I'm got the cuff done. Dad likes long cuffs, so this is like 8.5 inches. I'm ready to start the heel flap, and it's, like I mentioned, the low light thing. I don't have a light behind me to shine over my shoulder onto the work. So this dark gray really needs a lot of light, and yeah, I might pull that out and do the heel flap and get the stitches picked up, so when I go to work tomorrow night, I just have to work on the gusset. The other thing, excuse me, sorry, I always seem to get dry when I'm talking to you guys. So, coffee. It's blueberry cobbler this week. It's really, really yummy. Everyone, like 2 people mentioned they kind of want to see when I talk about old things that I've knit on. I mentioned the Mystic Light shawl last week, and they said, well, show us. So I am. I think this might become a regular thing, just start pulling out some older finished stuff that I have so you guys can see different things that I've done that maybe I either didn't put up on Ravelry for some reason because I couldn't remember when I did them, or I don't have pictures of, or even stuff that's up there so you can see it, because most of my picture taking takes place at night, like later, so the colors aren't exactly on. This lovely thing, I don't know how much of that you can see, is the Mystic Light shawl. I was kind of not sure about the color. It's the Oregon Red Clover Honey from Blue Moon Fiber Arts. And I don't normally wear a lot of orange. Now, yeah, look at me. I've worn like a coral shirt 2 weeks in a row, but like yellowy orange, I normally don't look good in, but this I think has enough red that I love it. I use it as a layering piece for a lot of stuff. The pattern's by Anna Dalby, Knit and Nag at blogspot.com or .blogspot.com. This is one of her Mystic knit-alongs, and she does have the pattern for sale, and I'll link to her blog so you can find that. But it was so much fun, and she's one, this is one of her fingering weights. She does do a lot of lace weight stuff as well. And I loved this because it was so fast. I was actually able to pretty much keep up, and look at me, I keep playing with it. I was pretty much able to keep up with the knit along. I think I finished like 2 weeks behind, but that's good for me. But it's got, can you see the edge? It's got a little twisted cable down the edge, and then a braided cable that runs down the center back. Yeah, and I messed it up right at the top. So design feature. I didn't want to go back and fix it. But it needs to be washed and blocked and pinned out again because the edges are losing the points that were so lovely. But I mean, I washed and blocked it over a year ago, so it's actually held up really well. I drag it around and wrap up in it in the house, and it's nice and warm and cushy. And I mean, I did it in lightweight socks that rock. I think it was on like a size 5 needle or something like that. But yeah, she's doing this whole Mystic series. And this starts with like, it's got little flames running down either side of each panel, and then stars, and then I think I don't know what the middle bit's supposed to be, but then it's supposed to be transition to flames down at the bottom, bigger flames. But I still have her Mystic Roses shawl. That's actually out of Zephyr lace weight on the needles. I need to get back to that too. But yeah, that's one of my FOs, and I'll keep digging through the piles and find you guys some more. I'll get this up and then work on the show notes and hopefully get that up shortly thereafter, and I will see you guys next week.